The following segment is sponsored by Georgia Mason. Hello there, I'm Christy Michael, and we are in the art studio of Georgia Mason. Georgia, thank you so much for having us today.
Oh, you're more than welcome.
So you have been creating mermaids since 1999, the Mermaids on Parade.
That's what it started, yes.
For the city of Norfolk.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you get involved with this?
Well, I'll have to credit my sister. One day she saw in the newspaper that they were going to do a Mermaids on Parade, kind of like the cows on parade in Chicago.
Oh, okay.
And she says, Georgia, you need to do one of these. And I said, what are you talking about? And she says, look at the paper. So I did, and contacted Mermaids on Parade and did a few designs. That's how I got started.
That is amazing. How many do you think you've created since you've started?
Oh, geez. So the big ones, probably 35 or so of the big ones. I've done several 4-foot, 6-foot, little clay ones. Been doing it for a long time.
That's amazing. How did you get involved in sculpting and art?
Just one day after I had children, I was at the Stockley Gardens Arts Festival, and I saw some artist clay work, and I said, yeah, I kind of want to do that. And so I contacted that artist, and she gave a class, and then I took another class, and then I just got into ceramics and got into clay sculpture, and I don't know, just kind of went on from there.
If people would take a class, who knows what could be waiting for them, the possibilities, you know? Look at this.
I know.
So what is the process behind this?
This is a fiberglass piece. It's molded. It was originally crafted by Kevin Gallup, and he was commissioned by the city of Norfolk.
Was Kevin the one that started the whole thing?
He was the one who was commissioned to make the mermaid.
Okay.
The person who I would credit with starting it was Bess Decker and her husband, Pete
Decker, okay.
They happened to be in Chicago, and they were walking by, and they had just had a meeting prior to that about what new logo they were going to have with the city of Norfolk, and they had decided on the mermaid. And Bess looked at Pete, Pete looked at Bess, and they looked at the Chicago cow, and they said, oh my gosh, we need to do mermaids in Norfolk. And so Pete and Bess spearheaded it, and it is what it is today because of them.
Do you have any mermaids across the world, anywhere else?
I have one in Halifax, Canada. That was made for the people of Halifax for the Sister City program. I ended up taking the tail off and making a tail of their symbol, which is a maple leaf. I've got one in Kent, England, which is Pocahontas, because that's where Pocahontas is buried. And then I have one in Wilhelmshaven, Germany.
Nice.
And that's another sister city.
How long does it take to make one entire mermaid?
I always tell a client that I'm going to need at least 2 to 3 months. And that is from the very beginning of meeting with the client, finding out what they want, what their vision is. Then I do a sketch and sketch it out for them, take it to them, make sure everything is exactly the way they want it, tweak it a little maybe, and then from there we start building her. You have the mold, which she actually comes in 2 pieces, except for her hands. They go on separately, and those are 2 pieces each, so there's 4 pieces. You put the mold down, you put in a mold release, then you put all the mat down, which is a fiberglass material. Mm-hmm. Then you mix up the resin with an accelerant. Then you kind of pour it in there, roll it out. You want to make sure that there are no bubbles.
No bubbles.
If a bubble, when you pull it out of the mold, then you'll kind of have a hole there.
Ooh.
So you want to make sure everything is very smooth. Once it dries, you pop it out, you put the 2 together, you'll have to grind the edges quite a bit, and then you fiberglass the seam. And this is, the seam goes right along in here, right along in there. So it's 2 pieces.
All right, so out of all the mermaids you've made, do you have a particular one that's your favorite, absolute?
I would say Lily probably is one of my absolute favorites. She's out at Botanical Gardens. She's got flowers going across her chest, and then the rest of her is all hand-cut mirrored glass leaves. And then the one out at Sandy Tide, the one that's at Harbor Park, she looks like a baseball player.
How does it feel to be an artist and know you have such an impact? Your art all over the city of Norfolk and beyond.
Well, I tell you, it's very exciting. I love it. When I go by, like, IKEA, and I see my mermaid there, I go, who did that? And I realize I did it.
Yeah.
It just fills me full of joy and happiness, and I'm just all excited about it, to tell you the truth.
I can't even imagine, because even when I, plant flowers in my garden, I just want to sit there and stare at it and like, oh, I did that. I can't imagine when you see all your mermaids all over the city.
I know, I'm very lucky. I really am.
And you're very gifted.
Well, I appreciate that, but I'm real lucky that I was able to fall into this, and it's worked for me, and I love it.
So what is your favorite part about making a mermaid?
Painting her, designing her.
Cutting the glass you were showing me earlier.
Yeah, cutting glass, making it, putting it on there.
If someone would like a mermaid for their house or their own art, what can they do?
Well, they can contact me at georgiamasonstudio.com.
Okay.
And I would be more than thrilled to be commissioned by anyone that wants a mermaid. I don't just make the 10-foot, I also make a 4-foot and a 6-foot.
And you love doing it. What a great way to make a living, huh?